and I am so grateful and excited to be here. I am Director of Symmetry, Janet Mathews, by way of Kevin Purdy, Linwood Watkins. So before we bring the speakers up, I just want to give you a quick snapshot of my journey here in my version. So building, that was always exciting. I come from an entrepreneurial family, and I've always been a 1099, 100% commission, because every day I wanted to wake up excited and scared. And I tried actually working at a job for a year, and I felt it stymied me. So I was always looking for that business model with the right inspiration, the right coaching, the right support. How many of you feel you have worth? How many of you feel you have worth and deserve success? I should see everybody's hand. But how many of you have been in a company where you didn't feel that? Yeah. Didn't have the support. You felt you were more. So I was a realtor for 13 years. I come from 3 generations of builders. Met my husband. He was an ex-builder down in the D.C., Northern Virginia area. Moved outside of Philly. Went into credit card processing, merchant services, cold calling, door knocking. I was thrown out of businesses 30, 50 times a week. And you grow thick skin. But there's nothing more satisfying when you finally break that barrier, right, of helping someone who said, God, I wish you had bugged me even more. I wish you had been even more persistent. But that business model takes months, if not years, to develop relationships, to get people to want to talk to you. But we didn't know what we didn't know. So, of course, my husband starts business. I'm there part-time. We had our own merchant services business. We created our own systems, did our own marketing, time-consuming and costly. And then we realized 9 years ago when we had to start over, we had to look for something different. So we were looking at franchises because we value systems, and that's what a franchise is, right? Everything's right there. Plug and play. But raising capital is a very time-consuming process of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because when you start your own business, that's what happens. And they say within the first 3 to 5 years, most businesses fail. So wow, here we are starting over again. Very humbling. Very scary time. Kevin's coming through town with Terry Garvey. God bless him. Rest his soul. And met him. Of course, beer got my husband's attention. And then he tells him all this exciting stuff. And Kevin came here. I mean, he was a sales manager, but he was a selling manager. And he came here because he wanted more time with his 4 children and stay-at-home wife, Michelle. He turned around one day and his 4 little kids were teenagers. And now they're in the back of the room, some of them. They work with him. Isn't that awesome? But when I came here, I heard that they had systems in place, they had processes, they had support, and I thought, oh, this is just too good to be true. Really? Someone's going to help me? Someone's going to be there for me? And of course I heard insurance, and that was it. I shut down. I'm not going to go, wrestle my family and friends to try to convince them to buy something that they don't need just so I can pay my bills. Wow. So you got to believe in what you represent. And that's when he said, no, here's more information. We got started when the company was 3 years old, doing probably about $18 million, $15 million a year. And I saw hope. I felt their vision. Casey and Brandon were still in the field. And oh my gosh, and Kevin was a monster out there in the field selling. And he was a growing leader at the time. So the cool thing about this model is, while he was helping us out a little bit, it was his mentor, Linwood Watkins, who was coaching us. And he was standing back taking notes. Isn't that cool? It's a pay-it-forward business model. And then he became that better leader and growing leader where he could help us help with our agents growing. So how many of you have ever worked in that kind of supportive environment before? Anyone? Yeah, didn't think so. So this was exciting. When we got started, we just put our heads down, went to work. We became agency owners within 10 months. It was very exciting. We began building right away. How many of you know people who hate their jobs, tired of chasing a paycheck, tired of being suppressed, not being challenged, right? So we just got started. We made a ton of mistakes. It was humbling. I will tell you, I did not follow the system the first maybe 6 weeks. I did not follow the system. I did not ask for help and advice. I had to figure it out all by myself because for 20 years before I came here, that's what I did. But I will tell you, when you just step back, humble yourself, and be okay, give yourself permission to make mistakes, and ask for help and advice, you will grow your business. When we went up, we flattened out, because that's when we took our foot off the gas. We got out of the field too soon, then went back in, didn't ask for help, didn't plug into everything. We thought we were busy, but then we did an inspection, and all of a sudden our business started to drop every year. We were at 95%, then it was 85% for 4 years, 4.5 years. We were agency owner for 5. 4 years ago, we hit the reset button because we saw how this system changed people's lives. So we had to look at the 4 cornerstones again. That's our report card. Where's your belief? I always believed in myself. But did I believe I could do this, really do this? Well, sure. All I have to do is attach myself to Kevin, attach myself to the system, get on the calls, listen to what he's telling me instead of bucking the system. And that's what we did. And we started over, and our business went from we were stuck at $850,000, I swear, for like 4 years, 5 years. And then all of a sudden we doubled. Then the next year we doubled again. And now we're on track to do over $9 million this year. 4 years ago, thank you. And it's because this is what's exciting about building. And we're going to have some speakers up here in a minute. It's first we come here for ourselves. Then it becomes about others. So when you serve your clients and you serve your agents and you help them help themselves and you help them reach their dreams, oh my gosh, there's nothing more fulfilling. So we were here, and when you don't put emotion around the activity, so we just kept planting the seeds, weeding the garden, fertilizing it, watering it for 1 year. 1 year later, we found Scott Forehand. I don't know if any of you have heard Scott Forehand. Okay, so yeah. So Scott Forehand then found Jamie Satterfield, 21-year-old who got started here, became an agency owner in 10 months. And then he found Teresa Sackman, Harrison Zipkin, Tom Deutsch, Paul Bine. All of a sudden, everybody started becoming agency owner. Rick Helm, Jonathan Daly, who's in the Forehand team as well. So is it possible? Absolutely. Anything's possible. If you want to come here and produce and help families, that's awesome. And that's how I started for the first 2 months, a little bit. Because I can only go help so many people a week, 10, 12 people a week. But what if we brought on a few more people, we're helping them reach their dreams, and now all of a sudden, we're helping 100 families a week? What kind of an impact is that? And how many people want to make an impact? Absolutely. People need to know about these products and need to know about this business opportunity. So I'd like to have some folks up here. We're going to talk to them about their journey and their success.